Good afternoon. I wanted to do a series of short videos. I'm going to try to make this as condensed as possible, just to share some information about what our classroom is going to look like. This one is really going to focus on math specifically, and I want to show you some tools with Moby Max. So before I jump into that, I just want to tell you I've been praying for you. I hope that you are all doing well. I do think that a key to this online learning is communication. So definitely talk with me and let me know what you need, how I can support you. My goal is to keep it simple. I want to just keep things simple. We're going to use our Google Classroom to track out our day. We will every day start with our Zoom call at 9:30 just to connect together. And then there will also be a video every single morning for you that will be available before the Zoom call that I will go over growth mindset and vocab with the kids. So that'll be every single day. I am posting the videos for the kids at night. So the first thing in the morning, whenever you start your school day, that will be available. So I want to try to make sure that that works for you and I'm not stressed out trying to get it done in the morning. So those will be available every single morning. Those are two things that you can count on. I'm going to kind of jump into some different areas today. Like I said, I really want to focus on math and how we can manage that. None of this is perfect and it's not a perfect system. So I am completely flexible. And if we need more, by all means, let me know. If it's too much, by all means, let me know. But again, I just want to focus on keeping it simple. So I am going to use Moby Max as our primary source of math because when the kids take their placement test, it allows them to open up lessons specifically that they need. So it's a great way to continue kind of differentiating like I've been doing in our classroom. So I want to show you what that looks like. I have created a fake account for my husband, which AKA is me on this. So when your student logs in, which I think everyone has done, you'll go to log in as a student and you'll sign in with their login and password. I've already been in here today, so normally it comes up with a joke for the day. You'll see here there's assignments. These are things that I've started and haven't finished. But what I want to do is come up to this area where the books are, and this gives you or your student the modules that we have made available through Moby Max. So you'll see we have math and fact fluency. We have some reading, language, science, and fluency board games. Today, I really want to focus on the math and the fact fluency. We'll use some of these others, but that's not what this video is about. So you'll notice above the math and the fact fluency that there's times. I have set up on my computer side to do a minimum of 30 minutes of math and 15 minutes of fact fluency. So you can see that I've been in here today taking the placement test, doing a couple lessons, and I did the math fact fluency placement test as well. So that's my hope, is that the students can spend 30 minutes a day in math minimum and 15 minutes. Now, I want to really emphasize this. I am not home with you. I'm not with your students. So if that's not working, just talk with me. I know that when my kids tried to do homework with me, it was frequently a battle, and how they acted for their teachers was very different than what they would do with me at home. And I know that you are in a very different place. So let's just keep that communication open. If your student's wanting to do more than 30 minutes or more than 15 on fact fluency, by all means, they could be on here all day. If you just want them to keep doing math, it is not going to hurt them to do more by any means. So I'm going to click on the math, and you'll see it pulls up kind of where I was working. So the standard that I'm currently doing, if I was the student, is area. And I'm going to show you in a second on my teacher screen how that was determined. So I would continue through here. There's this button up here gives me a hint sound. I can turn that on or off. There's times. This shows me how much I still have to do. And then this here is a tutorial video. So if I click on the tutorial video, it will actually walk me through a video lesson. Now, it is not perfect. Again, nothing in this situation is perfect, but it is, it's a good resource. So I would continue, I would answer the question, I would continue through answering these. Oh, because I did not read the whole question, um,
A
which
garage measures
which
9
happens.
meters by 10
So
meters.
I
What
would
is the
continue
area
through
of the
these lessons,
garage?
and it would continue to open up more and more lessons for me as I get things right. Let's go ahead and hop back out of here and go back to fact fluency. Fact fluency is, it's going to start them off with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I did my pretest, and you can see I got some things wrong intentionally, so that I could practice. This is what it will tell me when I look at your students' data, where they are at. When I'm setting up their fact frequency or their fact fluency, I can determine how long they have to answer each question. Currently, it's set up for 10 seconds for every student. I can adjust that per student. So if one student needs, we want them to be getting them faster, like 5 seconds, we can do that. If a student's really struggling, we can add more time. Here,
9
it
plus
would ask me
8.
to answer
7 plus 5.
questions, and I would keep going through. So that's what your student's screen would look like. Back on this home screen, there are fluency board games for math where they can play a game against the computer. I've not been in here and dug into this yet, but I'm sure the kids can have some fun there. Okay, I'm going to log out of here and I'm going to log in as a teacher. Okay, I created an account, like I said, for my husband so I could show you sort of what I see and the capabilities that I have to really support your student. So here it tells me where my placement test was. I tested at a 4.3 level. It was hard to get some things wrong. I have to be honest, that was a little stressful. But it tells me that I tested at a 4.3 level. And then it shows me here, down here, where I had some mistakes. So if I look at this data, I clearly did not understand measurement and data, which, to be 100% honest, most of my class did not pass this standard. And that's because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't started talking about area and perimeter and how that relates to multiplication, because that's what comes right after fractions, which is where we were headed. So I can also see in here the fourth grade standards. So I can tell that there were some standards that I knew and some things that I didn't know. This also tells me, again, the same report. I can see what lessons are currently being done and what lessons have been completed. I also believe there is a place right here I can assign lessons if I feel that your student really needs something, and then I can test them on standards. So we can absolutely test those standards as well. Another screen I just wanted to jump over to really quick. This shows me how much time I've spent on Moby Max. It tells me I've spent 5 minutes, how many times, how many minutes per week. It shows me the time spent per day. So I can really see how the kids are spending their time. I can tell I did 53 problems in 15 minutes. That may or may not be good. So I can kind of drill down and find out if kids are rushing through things or taking their time. And then here is another area where I can kind of drill in and see this eventually will show me their growth. I haven't done enough lessons to have any growth yet, but I can look specifically at math, fact fluency, and I can really see where my holes and gaps are and how much time I'm spending. So I wanted you to see this so you kind of knew why I was going where I was headed, why we're using this program. It really does open up the lesson that your child needs. But it also, I have the flexibility to change that. So if we feel like they're doing something that we don't think they need to do, I can change that. So again, my ask is that they spend 30 minutes a day, starting on Wednesday, since they still had some paper pencil packets, on our Google Classroom. That will show up here. I do not have Wednesdays put up here yet, but I will create right here. The assignment will be 30 minutes of Moby Max and 15 minutes of fact fluency. I will also weekly post up in the weekly section a math mystery because the kids love that. Um, I have all of the resources I use in class, I have electronically, so I can paper pencil. I can send you PDFs of anything. I didn't want to make that a requirement so you're not trying to print and then upload. And I just want to keep this simple for you. But if you need more work for your student, I have as much as you could possibly want. Just let me know. I don't want to overwhelm you at this time. So I really want to keep things simple and just keep them moving. I read something recently that said, all of our students in the country are in this position, and the most important thing is how these kids feel. Um, and so, uh, while I think our schoolwork is important, what's more important to me is the mental health of your student. And so, please, if it becomes an argument or a fight, just stop. It's not worth it. I do the same thing in class. If there's a fight or an argument and they're stressed out, they're not learning. So it's time to take a break. And we can definitely talk about those things. So I hope that this was a little bit helpful. I will do some more videos on reading, but this is specifically math, and this one's probably the bulkiest one. So hopefully the rest are shorter for you. I pray that you are doing well. I miss your kids, and please give them hugs for me.